Didn't look so great early because, first of all, he's playing second base, not short, because I have a shortstop, famously, and he so struggled at the plate. He seems to have broken out of that. What was happening?
Yeah, there's a whole lot of reasons. Obviously, the position change, et cetera, that where he was really struggling early part of the season. But the thing, I took a little bit of a deeper dive as to what was happening with him this year. And the thing that I noticed was that even though he was swinging the bat okay, he was taking a lot of pitches early in the count that were very, very hittable pitches. Those non-fastballs. He was instead of like crushing those pitches, they were hanging. Hanging breaking balls, changeups, all types of things. And to me, it was about him being a little bit too over anxious. And you look at the numbers here. Prior to May 8th, I mean, he was really struggling. After May 8th, with non-fastballs, off-speed pitches, you look at what he was doing early in the season and prior to May 8th. These are changeups and breaking balls, nothing but pitches right down the middle where he was just kind of freezing on, was not swinging at them. It was almost like he was not recognizing those pitches. And he was kind of freezing on him. He couldn't pull the trigger. Now, in his last, 4 out of his last 5 home runs, all on off-speed pitches. He crushes this home run to dead center on a changeup. He crushes this slider right here that was hanging. And this is something obviously he was not doing earlier in the season. And then another changeup he crushes to left field. I mean, 3 home runs yesterday. What a amazing day. And again, another breaking pitch, a little slider. He's not missing them. He's recognizing them. He's crushing them. And he's doing exactly what he typically would do in Colorado. This is something we were used to. He would get a pitch that was hanging in the zone, and he would not miss it. Crushing some of these breaking balls, and especially this one. This was a pretty special one with that bat flip against one of the better pitchers in all of baseball, and Zach Wheeler. He gets a hanging breaking ball, and he crushes it. I'm just convinced that he was not recognizing those off-speed pitches. He's on the fastball, but he wasn't doing that with the non-fastballs.
You know what's funny, and you'll like this. If this was MLB Tonight 1979, we'd say, of course, he's in a fastball league and he comes to the breaking ball league. But it's not like that anymore, right?
Not at all.
The National League was known as the fastball league. And then you go to these junk ballers, Wilbur Wood and these guys, in the American League, and how can you recognize that? But it did look like something was happening like that, didn't it? You're right. Yeah, stunned by these breaking stuff.
How does a guy who's been in the big leagues that long and has been such a good hitter have that much trouble with pitch recognition?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. They weren't going to hold him down for long, and I think there's a lot of factors, as I said. I mean, you talk about the position change, the fact that he goes from Colorado to Boston, where there's an expectation, no secrets, 6 years, $140 million. All of a sudden, you have to be that all-star player. I think there's a lot of factors, but I think one of them was that hanging breaking pitch or that hanging changeup, he was just not pulling the trigger on it.
And, year one of a big free agent signing, especially when you're in a place like Boston, that can, that bias will stick with you. Whatever that label that hits you that first year will be on you for a while.
Oh, you just have to go back to the last homestand, and he punched out 4 times in a game and got booed lustily. And did he get booed in Colorado? Not that I remember.
Maybe once in his whole life. And right? I'll tell you what, and just like any other passionate fan base, when you start doing the things he's done over the last several weeks, then they come right back on board. I mean, they'll be right back, they'll be back in his corner and supporting him the way they should. This is a really, really good ball player. I love all of his tools. I love his athleticism and the fact that I think he's going to be a better player because he's gone through this issue, and now he's really swinging it.
The other important thing to remember is they need him. They haven't hit at all. They've had 3 guys hit. I was looking at this last night as this game was unfolding. There's only 4 teams in the big leagues that have hit fewer home runs than the Red Sox. Nationals, A's, Tigers, Royals. That's it. They're the Red Sox. They've got a 92 OPS plus as a team. They were one of the top 5 offenses in the league last year.
Wow, that's
they do have 3 guys really raking, but I'll tell you what, they should be putting up much better offensive numbers.
Yeah, Story, again, at his best, was an elite fielder, an elite base runner.
Absolutely.
Great all-around player.